Hello, my name is Olivia, or Liv, and today I wanted to make a quick video giving some album recommendations because I myself often turn to YouTube to look up recommendations for music, movies, and books, and all those things. So I thought I would make a video for people like myself who like to listen to people talk about what they love, and also as somebody who does also like to talk about what they love. So I decided that I would share some of the albums that I really love and that I think other people should give a listen to. I kind of tried to pick some albums that I thought were a little bit more underrated and deserved a little bit more love and recognition, and especially love and recognition from people my age. The music that I like is very rock inspired. I love good guitar, good instruments. I definitely went through a classic rock phase a few years ago, and a lot of that has still stuck with me, but I also love a lot of, more modern music, but very rock, very alternative, pop, melodic, just like good music, okay? That's what I like. I guess I'll just start recommending stuff for you. For starters, one of my favorite artists right now is Death Cab for Cutie. They just kind of started playing on my Spotify one day, and I was like, I vibe with this. And the album that has really stood out to me so far has been Plans. It's their 2005 album. And as I was just listening to all of their music collectively, the songs off this album just really stuck out to me. And now it is one of my favorite albums right now. The song that really got me into this band in general is the song Crooked Teeth. That was the song that I heard, and the minute that I heard it, I was like, I really love this. And then I started listening to them consistently. So they have their biggest song, I think, that they've ever released, I Will Follow You Into the Dark, is on this album. It's a very popular song, but just consistently good songs on this record. And it's got a great vibe. It's got really nice, like, rock, alternative sound. It's got softer songs. It's got heavier songs. The opening track, Marching Bands of Manhattan, is a really good song. Soul Meets Body, Summer Skin, Someday You Will Be Loved. But my Crooked Teeth is my favorite. But yeah, I would absolutely a million times recommend this album. There's just so much to love about it. It just has some of the stuff by them that I've liked the most. I would recommend them all together as a group. I absolutely love their vibe. But as I said, in particular, all the songs in this album just continuously stand out to me. So Plans by Death Cab for Cutie. Next, we have my favorite artist in the whole wide world, David Bowie. I don't know if you can see my poster back there, but I do have my Bowie poster over there. And I really wanted to add one of his albums into this video, but I was really struggling to figure out which album I should pick because he has so many, and I love all of them, and some of them have very different vibes. But I decided to go with one that I felt like was extremely underrated, and even among people who do talk about David Bowie, I don't hear about this album a whole lot. And it was a self-titled record just called David Bowie, but it has Space Oddity on it, which became a huge song. So oftentimes you'll hear this album referred to as Space Oddity. And while Space Oddity was an extremely huge hit, there are so many songs on here that, almost all the other songs on here have not been recognized at all. Also, look at that. That is so cool. But yeah, all the other songs in here are also just magnificent, and I just don't hear them talked about very much. This album, I would say, is a little bit softer, a little bit more just like chill and relaxed, but also there's like really, really great lyricism in this. Songs I would definitely recommend: Letter to Hermione. I think that is an extremely good song. I love the song Janine, Memory of a Free Festival, Unwashed and Somewhat Slightly Dazed. It's such a fun, folky little album, and I just enjoy it so much, and it's so comforting to listen to. It's very intimate. I just love David Bowie so much, and look at his hair. Great lyrics. I love the soft instrumentation, just the flowy, lovely vibe of it. But if you do want more rocky David Bowie, this was released in 1969 But if you want more rock, I would go with his more mainstream albums from like 72 to 75, 70 and 71 also. Those albums are good, but definitely the mid 70s were his like rock era. So next, I have another one of my favorite albums of all time, and that is Tracy Chapman's self-titled album. Tracy Chapman is an artist that my mom loves, and I really can't remember exactly how I got hooked on this album, but Tracy Chapman is such a good songwriter, and this album as well is kind of folky, kind of, I mean, it's literally just poetry, like guitar poetry. There's even like an a cappella song on this album called Behind the Wall, and that song is insane. Like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. And she talks about very real, serious, and important topics in this album, which I appreciate so much. She has a beautiful voice, she has a beautiful storytelling ability, and Fast Car is a really, really great song. I also love Talking About a Revolution and Why. Why is great. Mountains of Things. I love this album. It is so freaking good. And if you're somebody who loves great lyrics, great writing, melodic singing, this is for you. I would recommend this trillion billion times to everybody in the whole wide world. Tracy Chapman's self-titled album, absolutely masterpiece. Just masterpiece. I'm a huge lyrics person, so like if something has really amazing lyrics, it instantly will stand out to me. Next we have one of my favorite dudes ever, who I actually am seeing in a concert this summer with Stevie Nicks, and that is Billy Joel. We all love Billy Joel. He has a place in all of our hearts. But if I were to recommend an album for everybody to listen to, that would be Glass Houses. I would also recommend The Stranger, but Glass Houses I think is like just universally a great album, like no skips. Every song is a banger. He has such great hooks. He is such a catchy songwriter, but he also uses like really good lyrics, like in All for Lena. Like my favorite song is probably Sleeping with the Television On. Close to the Borderline is really good. It's still rock and roll to me, really good. Literally, like I said, no skip album, super catchy. Every song goes hard. It's just like a groovy album, like very good. Like I think this was 1980, so it's like, you know, that like 70s 80s sound. Just, it's so fun to sing along to and dance to. Yeah, I'm so excited to see this man in concert. Like this is so exciting to me. So yes. So next I want to talk about one of my favorite bands, Cage the Elephant. If I had to pick one specific album to recommend, I think it would be Melophobia. Their first self-titled album is also great. I actually don't have a physical copy of Melophobia, which is what I am aiming to achieve eventually soon. It just has some of my favorite songs by them. It's, you know, it's very indie alternative, but this album, their sound is a little bit rough, a little bit more intense, which I really like. It's a little bit more like rock alternative rather than like indie. I just love their sound. The lyrics are great. The singing is awesome. Like I said, great lyrics, great, you know, instrument, great unique sound. It just, all of it is just so cool. They're so cool sounding. You know what I'm saying? And then let me look up the specific songs on this album, because some of the albums blend together for me. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Take It or Leave It is amazing. Cigarette Daydreams, popular song. Come a Little Closer is popular. They're both great. Spiderhead is great. I really like the song Hypocrite a lot. Telescope is a really great song. So yeah, they're just great. They're so catchy. But continuing with Cage the Elephant, I have another album that I want to recommend, and this one is actually a live album, and it is Unpeeled, so all the songs on here are like the acoustic versions of some of their popular songs. This came out in 2017, so it only has like their greatest hits up until 2017, but it has songs like Spiderhead, Take It or Leave It, Telescope, Cigarette Daydreams, but acoustic versions. So, but also a lot of their other songs off of other albums. But yeah, this has more of like a acoustic-y sound to it. So if you don't like the way that some of their other more like rocky, intense stuff sounds, then you might really like this because it's a little bit softer. Yeah, this I do have on vinyl, and I really love it. Ooh, it's starting to spill. I mean, the record was starting to come out. I also have a poster that comes from this. I don't remember where. I think I just got it off Amazon. I don't know. But yeah, Cage the Elephant is a band that I will always recommend because they're so cool. And next is a band that I think is extremely underrated. They only released 2 albums in the 90s, and it's Jellyfish. And I really have fallen in love with the album Spilt Milk. And I could have sworn that my dad had this album on CD, but I went into his office and I could not find it. I found their other album, which is called Belly Button, which is also great, but I am really attached to Spilt Milk. And I really like, it's just so cool because it has some like classic rock influence, but it's also a little bit like punky alternative groove, like, and it's so fun and creative and unique in like a cool way. And it's almost got like that cool, weird, but in a cool way weird kind of vibe. The album cover is really fitting and it's really cool looking, and I love like their logo, the jellyfish logo. It's so fun. This is really just a fun album. I love songs like Joining a Fan Club and Brighter Day, and hold on. Oh, New Mistake is like I heard the song New Mistake and that's what got me into this album. Oh, The Ghost at Number 1, Brighter Day, Too Much, Too Little, Too Late, Russian Hill. All of it is so good. All Is Forgiven. Just all the songs on here are just so fun. A lot of them are catchy. Sometimes you can hear a little bit of like Queen in there, a little bit of the Beatles, like I said, very like classic rock influenced, but with a more like 90s kind of sound, which is really, really cool to me. Just generally a vibe. This album is a true vibe. Okay, next we have Cake, which is another band that I'm going to see, I think in September. And I'm going to recommend 2 of their albums because I think these albums are both so great and they both kind of have a similar vibe, and that is Comfort Eagle and Pressure Chief. First of all, they have a very unique sound, very cool instrumentation. I don't even know what instrument it is that they use to make the little sounds that they use, but it always sounds so cool. They're kind of, I don't even know what genre this band fits under. You know, definitely a rock band, but with a very unique, interesting way about it. But I love this dude's voice. I don't know his name, but he has a very good voice and just catchy and cute songs. And the instrumentation is very unique, but it's not weird necessarily. If I look up Cake, the band, it'll tell me that it is an alternative rock band from Sacramento. Yeah, like experimental rock, indie rock, funk rock, pop rock. Yeah, I like experimental rock and indie rock to explain them. Yeah, very, why does it have country in there? They're not country. Don't listen to Wikipedia. It's really great. I would highly recommend Comfort Eagle and Pressure Chief to start. I don't know, some of you may recognize Short Skirt, Long Jacket. You might recognize that song because that is pretty popular. And then the final album that I want to recommend is extremely underrated, an artist who deserves so much more recognition, and her name is Hannah Wicklund, and this album is called Hannah Wicklund and the Stepping Stones. Look at that album cover, first of all. Yeah. My dad actually just recently got me this, and it is so good, y'all. Like, this lady has the most powerful rock and roll lady voice. She's an incredible guitarist. Like, everything about this album, look at that back too. Everything about this album impresses me. Yeah, this is extremely rockin', super catchy, super well written, freaking great guitar. The song that got me into this is called Strawberry Moon, and I heard it and just instantly thought it was amazing. But then I got really into songs like Ghost and Looking Glass and Mama Said and Bomb Through the Breeze and Shadow Boxes and Porcelain Faces. Those are some of my favorites. This is so good, and I need her to release more music immediately. I do think she has some other stuff that I haven't listened to, but I need her to release another album, please. Another LP. I need it. So yeah, that's just like a really quick thing. I would have recommended some other songs by albums by artists like, you know, Taylor Swift or Paramore or My Chemical Romance or other artists that I like, but a lot of those artists are so mainstream that I feel like I don't really need to recommend them. But these are albums that I feel like don't get enough love, and I don't really hear people, especially people my age, talking about. So yeah, I hope that you listen to a couple of these, and I hope that you like them and like them as much as I do, and appreciate the masterfulness of their writing, because some of it is just absolutely so incredible and fascinating. And so, yeah, thank you for watching this. I appreciate you listening to me ramble on about music. Okay, bye now.